You are watching history happen in real time. Right now, not a metaphor, not a warm-up act. The actual, literal, biggest football tournament ever played is unfolding in front of you. And most fans have no idea just how strange and unprecedented that really is. The 2026 World Cup is not just a bigger version of what came before, it is a different creature entirely. And to understand why, you need to go back to where this all started. The year is 1930. Uruguay. 13 teams, a tournament so small it fit inside a single country with stadiums still being built around the players. 16 teams next, then 24, then 32 in 1998, a number that held for nearly 3 decades, long enough to become the very definition of normal. Then FIFA did something extraordinary. They blew it all up. 48 teams, 104 matches, 3 host countries spanning 3,000 miles of one continent. The 2026 World Cup is not an evolution. It is a complete redesign of the sport's most important event. So what does that actually mean for the game you think you know? Start with the nations: Cape Verde, Curaçao, Jordan, Uzbekistan. These 4 countries are playing in a World Cup for the first time in history. Think about that. Football has been played for over a century, and these nations, with their own fans, their own generations of players who dreamed of this moment, are stepping onto this stage for the very first time. Cape Verde, a small island nation off the west coast of Africa. Uzbekistan, a Central Asian country whose football culture grew slowly and quietly for decades. They are here because FIFA doubled the doors. That is not a small thing. That is the kind of moment that permanently changes a football culture. But the changes go deeper than who is here. They change how you survive once you arrive. In the old format, finishing third in your group was almost always a death sentence. 3 points, a decent goal difference, and you were on a plane home. In 2026, the 8 best third-place teams advance. That means a team can lose a game, scramble together 3 points, and still reach the knockout rounds. It opens the door to comebacks, to calculated risk, to football played differently because the math is different. Brazil understand this better than anyone. They have not won a World Cup since 2002. 24 years. For a country where Pelé and Ronaldo are not just players but cultural myths, that drought has become a wound. Vinicius Jr. carries the weight of that history right now in 2026. Every touch, every sprint, every goal attempt filtered through one question the entire country is asking: is this finally the year? France have Kylian Mbappé, no longer chasing the promise of what he might become. He already won a World Cup at 19 years old. What he is chasing now is legacy. A second star, confirmation that he belongs among the greatest ever. The 2026 format gives him 6, 7, potentially 8 matches to make that argument. Then there is the geography. Mexico, whose passionate fans and high-altitude venues have shaped World Cup history for decades. This is where the tournament opened, at the Azteca, where Maradona scored the hand of God and the goal of the century in the same afternoon. The United States still building its football identity, hosting the world while its own team tries to prove it belongs. Canada, returning to a World Cup for the first time since 1986, playing at home in front of fans who waited 40 years. England knows something about pressure. 60 years without a World Cup win. A nation that invented the game and has not held the trophy since 1966. Sports scientist Ronnie Lidor has shown that when elite athletes face shifting environments, altitude, humidity, crowd energy, adaptability becomes more decisive than technical skill alone. Thomas Tuchel's squad prepared under Florida heat and storms for exactly this reason. At the center of it all sits a question nobody can answer yet. Does a bigger World Cup produce better football? Researcher Stefan Szymanski, who has studied competitive balance in football for decades, argues that expansion does not dilute quality, it redistributes it. New stories emerge, unexpected giants fall. Nations who were never supposed to be in the room rewrite the script entirely. That is exactly what is happening right now. You are not just watching a football tournament. You are watching the sport redefine what a football tournament is. The players chasing legacy have more room to build it. The fans from nations who never had this are feeling it for the first time. You are watching history happen in real time. And this time, The history is bigger than any World Cup that came before it.